Did you know that seniors over 75 are twice as likely to experience chronic loneliness, and that loneliness can be more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day? Even simple tasks like kneeling in the garden or studies have shown that social isolation in older adults dramatically increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, and even early death. And yet, so many seniors find themselves feeling invisible, forgotten, soon, even standing up from his favorite chair took effort. The less he moved, the harder it became to move this as part of aging. Here's what George didn't know. Avoiding exercise wasn't protecting his joints. It was making them build meaningful connections. Most people don't realize this, but strength training is one of the best ways to protect your joints. And make sure you stay with me until the end. Research shows that building supportive muscles around your knees, hips, and shoulders helps stabilize your joints, reducing mental pain and physical well-being faster than you'd expect. Loneliness the key is choosing the right exercises. Low-impact options like swimming, yoga, more serious than resistance band routines are gentle on your chronic loneliness while directly strengthening your muscles. Dementia, even seated leg lifts, shorter curls with light weights, or gentle stretching can improve flexibility and stability after the age of 75, often when they need connection the most. Whether it's due to the loss of loved ones, reduced mobility, or simply feeling forgotten, loneliness can quietly take hold and deeply impact both mental and physical health. But here's the truth. You can break free from this. In this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful ways you can reconnect, rediscover joy, and build meaningful relationships, no matter your age, your living situation, or your personality. Each of these steps is designed to bring lasting change, and together they can transform not only your social life, but your overall well-being. So stay with me, because each tip builds on the last. And number 5, it's a surprising yet life-changing method that's easier than you might think. Let me introduce you to Margaret. She's 78 years old, and for most of her life, she was surrounded by friends. Church gatherings, community picnics, and weekend coffee chats were part of her routine. But after her husband passed away, things changed. At first, Margaret stayed busy handling paperwork, sorting through memories, and adjusting to life alone. But as the months went by, the silence in her home grew louder, her once busy phone barely rang, and her social calendar, once full of friendly faces, seemed to disappear. Margaret often thought about her old church friends, the people she used to laugh with and lean on, but each time she considered reaching out, she hesitated. It's been too long, she thought. What if they don't remember me? Finally, one evening, Margaret made a decision. She picked up the phone and called her friend Linda. I don't know if you remember me, she started nervously. But before Margaret could finish, Linda's warm voice cut her off. Of course I remember you. I was just wondering how you were doing. That one phone call changed everything. Within weeks, Margaret was reconnecting with old friends, meeting for coffee, joining them at church services, and even helping organize their monthly book club. She realized that her friends had missed her just as much as she had missed them. They had simply assumed she was too busy or needed space. Most seniors don't realize this, but often the people from your past are still thinking about you. They'd love to hear from you. They just don't know how to start that conversation. So here's what you can do. Reach out to someone from your past, an old neighbor, a childhood friend, or even a former coworker. Start with something simple like, I was just thinking about you and wanted to say hello. You don't need to explain why you haven't called sooner. Just take that first step. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation to reopen a door that's been closed for far too long. And if you've ever reconnected with someone and felt instantly happier, I'd love to hear about it. Tell me in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to take that first step today. Now let me tell you about John. John retired at 76 after spending decades working as a carpenter. For years, his work gave him purpose, a reason to get up every morning. But when retirement came, something unexpected happened. Without the structure of his job, John felt aimless. Days stretched on longer than they used to, and he found himself watching too much television, feeling restless yet unmotivated. He missed the simple conversations he'd had with coworkers and the satisfaction of working with his hands. One afternoon, while visiting his local library, John noticed a flyer for a gardening club. He didn't know much about plants, but something told him to give it a try. When John arrived at his first meeting, he felt out of place. Most of the group had been gardening for years, and he worried he wouldn't fit in. But that changed quickly. A kind woman named Carol noticed John standing alone and welcomed him over. Before long, they were laughing and chatting like old friends. Week by week, John learned how to plant flowers, trim hedges, and even grow his own tomatoes. But more importantly, he found a new circle of friends, people who shared his curiosity and made him feel like he belonged. Most seniors don't realize this, but joining a local group isn't just about learning new skills. It's about building connections that give your day structure, purpose, and joy. So if you're feeling disconnected, consider joining a class or group at your local community center, library, or senior organization. Whether it's painting, yoga, woodworking, or chess. These activities aren't just hobbies. They're powerful ways to meet like-minded people and fill your life with meaningful connections. And if you've always wanted to try something new, but haven't taken that first step, now's your chance. What's one hobby you've always wanted to try? Share it in the comments below. You never know who might inspire you to start today. For many seniors, technology can feel overwhelming, but learning a few simple tools can open up a whole new world of connection. Just ask Eleanor. Eleanor's grandchildren had always been her pride and joy. They'd visit every weekend, and she loved baking their favorite cookies and hearing about their lives. But when her son's family moved several states away, everything changed. Suddenly, the house felt quieter. Eleanor missed the laughter, the hugs, and those spontaneous moments that once filled her home. At first, Eleanor told herself, "I'm too old for all this technology stuff." But with some encouragement from her daughter, she decided to give video calls a try. Her first attempt was shaky. She worried she'd press the wrong button or say something silly, but when her screen lit up and she saw her grandson's smiling face calling out, "Hi, Grandma," her doubts melted away. Soon, those calls became part of her weekly routine. But Eleanor didn't stop there. She began sharing her famous cookie recipes by posting pictures on Facebook where her grandchildren and even their friends left comments like, "Grandma's cookies are the best." For Eleanor, learning a simple app didn't just keep her connected. It made her feel closer than ever to her family. Most seniors don't realize this, but technology isn't as intimidating as it seems. And the best part, many libraries, senior centers, and even churches now offer free tech classes designed specifically for older adults. So here's what I recommend. Start small. Choose just one app, whether it's Zoom, WhatsApp, or Facebook, and use it to stay in touch with your loved ones. Even one video call a week can make a world of difference. And if you've already tried using video calls or social media to connect with your family, I'd love to hear about your experience. Let me know in the comments. What worked well for you? Your story could inspire someone else to take that first step today. Sometimes the best way to overcome loneliness isn't just to receive support, it's to give it. That's exactly what happened to Charles. Charles had always been a hard worker. After retiring at 80, he thought he'd finally enjoy some well-earned rest. But as the days passed, he started to feel restless, like something was missing. His mornings felt empty, and he missed feeling useful. One afternoon, Charles overheard his neighbor talking about a local food bank that needed volunteers. At first he hesitated. "I'm too old for that," he thought. "What could I possibly offer?" But something told him to give it a try. On his first day, Charles was asked to pack food boxes. As he worked, he started chatting with the other volunteers. Some were seniors like him, others were young students or busy parents. Before long, Charles found himself laughing, sharing stories, and connecting with people from all walks of life. But what surprised him most was how volunteering made him feel. He wasn't just filling boxes, he was making a difference. Knowing that families in his community had food on their tables because of his efforts gave Charles a renewed sense of purpose, something he hadn't felt in years. Most seniors don't realize this, but even dedicating just a few hours a week to volunteering can transform your life. It's not just about giving back. It's about forming new friendships, feeling valued, and building a stronger connection to your community. So if you're looking to feel more connected, I encourage you to explore volunteer opportunities in your area. Local charities, schools, and hospitals are always looking for people with life experience, wisdom, and a heart to serve. And here's a question for you. What's one cause you care deeply about? Whether it's helping animals, supporting veterans, or mentoring young people.
After a few weeks,
I'd love to hear
Helen
about it
started
in the
feeling
comments
off.
below.
Some
Your passion
mornings,
might just
she'd
inspire
wake
someone
up
else to get
busy
involved.
and
She found
start
herself
building
feeling
connections
unusually tired throughout the
today.
day. Once,
Sometimes
while
it's the
chatting with her
smallest
daughter,
habits that make
Helen
the biggest
forgot
difference.
what she was trying to
Now
say,
just ask
a moment
Grace.
that left her
Grace,
scared and
81, had
embarrassed.
spent years
Then,
feeling isolated.
one afternoon,
After her
after
husband
standing up
passed and
too
her
quickly,
children moved
Helen
away,
felt
her
faint
days
and
felt
collapsed.
painfully
At the
quiet.
hospital,
She
doctors
spent
told her
most
the
mornings
real
sipping
cause,
coffee alone,
dehydration.
watching the world pass
What
by
most
from her
seniors
window.
don't
But
realize
one morning
is that
something changed.
dehydration can
As her neighbor
quietly
walked
mimic
by,
other
Grace
problems.
gave a simple wave
It's often
and called
mistaken
out,
for fatigue,
"Good morning."
confusion, or
The next
even
day,
memory loss.
she did
But
it
the
again,
real
and
issue
the
is
day
simply
after
not
that.
getting enough
Soon,
fluids.
her neighbors
That's
started
because as
stopping
we
for a
age,
quick
our bodies
chat.
hold
Those
less
brief
water, and our
conversations
thirst
turned
signals
into
become
longer
weaker.
talks.
By the time you feel
Eventually,
thirsty,
Grace
you may
found
already
herself
be
invited
dehydrated.
to join
The
their
solution?
weekly walking
Aim for
group.
at least 6 to
What
8 glasses
started
of
as a
water each
simple
day,
greeting
even if
blossomed
you're
into
not
friendships
thirsty.
that gave Grace something
And
to
don't
look
forget that
forward to each
hydrating
day.
foods
And
like
as her social
cucumbers,
circle
watermelon,
grew, her
and
sense of
oranges
loneliness
can
began to
also help
fade.
you stay
Most
hydrated
seniors don't
without
realize
overwhelming
this,
your
but
bladder.
meaningful connections
If
don't
you sometimes
always start
forget
with
to drink
big
enough water,
gestures.
comment
Often
hydrate
they
below,
grow from the
because
small,
staying
consistent
hydrated
actions we
isn't
take
just
each
about
day.
comfort.
It's about
So here's
protecting
my
your
advice.
energy,
Make
your
connection
focus,
a
and
habit.
even
It
your
could be as
safety.
simple
George
as
had always been
calling
active.
a friend
He
every
loved
morning,
tending his garden,
chatting with
walking
your
in
mail
the park,
carrier
and
when
playing
they
with
drop
his
off the mail.
grandkids. Joining
But
a
when his
walking group
knees
or
started
even
to ache, he
greeting
grew
familiar
concerned.
faces
I better
at your
take it
local
easy.
coffee shop.
These small moments may seem insignificant at first, but when done consistently, they create a powerful web of connection, one that strengthens your relationships, boosts your mood, and makes each day feel a little brighter. And now I'd love to hear from you. What's one small daily ritual that helps you feel connected? Whether it's calling a friend, chatting with neighbors, or just sharing a smile with someone at the grocery store. Share your ideas in the comments below. You never know, your story could inspire someone else to take that first step toward building stronger connections today. Loneliness doesn't have to define your golden years. Even if you've spent months or even years feeling disconnected, know this: it's never too late to change that. Every connection you build, no matter how small, strengthens your heart, your mind, and your soul. Whether it's reconnecting with an old friend, learning a new skill, embracing technology, volunteering, or starting a simple daily ritual, each step brings you closer to the meaningful relationships that make life richer and more fulfilling. The truth is, the people in your life want to hear from you. They care, they just may not know how to reach out. But when you take the first step, you might be surprised at how quickly those connections grow. If this video gave you helpful ideas, I'd love to know. Comment, "I'm ready to connect" below. Your commitment may just inspire someone else to take action too. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more tips on living your healthiest, happiest life. Together, we can create a future filled with stronger connections and brighter days. Remember, you're never too old to start building meaningful connections. Even the smallest action, a phone call, a smile, a kind word, can change your life in ways you never expected. So take that first step today. You might just find that the connection you create, no matter how small, becomes the spark that reignites joy and purpose in your life. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one new connection you'll try to make this week? Share it in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to build a stronger, more connected community.